Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. I also have a Patreon for other games because this one's finished. So, the last Let's Play, we went fishing with Carl and had a good time, except for when we went into the water, caught a fish, and then felt someone watching us, which I'm not sure if that meant it was the fish or something else. Probably the ghosts of Echo or something like that. But then we went to go wash ourselves because, pond water are icky, and then we were naked, and Flynn did a bit more than flirt with us and was, being very, second base with us, and then went completely cold as our main character Chase was reciprocating quite a bit. It's like, okay, that came out of left field. But anyways, we're driving back. We're doing this thing right now, which is driving. So reset face and begin. We're headed down Elizabeth Street after dropping Carl off. The drive only a little awkward. Flynn's really good at acting like nothing's wrong when he wants to, and I'm totally fine with that right now. That's when I see a set of familiar ears through the window of the convenience store. Hey, is that TJ? I mean, I guess he does have big ears. I was thinking like Jenna, because she got big ears too. Flynn ducks his head to look out my window. Looks like it. He flips a U-turn, which isn't a big deal since there's no one on the road, and pulls up to the parking lot. What are you doing? Stopping to say hi? Oh, okay. I guess I need to buy stuff anyway. I look out the window so Flynn can't see the look on my face. I already know that this is a bad idea. Oh, it's not the aggressive music? TJ's at the registrar, and his ears flick in our direction before he turns to see us. At first he smiles when he sees me, but then his ears fall flat as he sees Flynn coming behind me. Jenna pokes her head from behind TJ, and now I know this is a really bad idea. They're both a little dirty, and TJ has his backpack on. Ew, what were you guys doing? Hopefully you left enough room for Jesus. I wave at them to let them know I've seen them before, moving towards the back of the store. I need to get some bottled water, since I don't really like drinking from the faucet in the motel. I hear Flynn say something as he walks up to them, and silently hope by the time I get back, everything will be magically resolved. Because the old corner market is closed, this is the only place where you can buy food, aside from the diner. Looking around at the selection, I see why Flynn takes a 30-minute drive to Peyton to get us food. I grab a few water bottles and head back to the front. My hopes of a resolution are dashed as I see the awkward situation unfolding in front of me. JJ is standing on the other side of Jen now, keeping her between him and Flynn. There's no one saying anything as I get to the registrar. The air is tense, and TJ's fidgeting with his facial fur. He has a lot of facial fur. As I pull out my wallet, I look over at Jenna. Hey, how was your hike? Fine. Hot. Ah. The red fox I don't recognize takes $2, and I hand it to him. Takes $2? Takes $2 I hand to him. I feel Flynn shift around next to me. Then I hear him take a breath. Hey, Teach, Hey, Flynn, did you forget about what happened yesterday? I cringe. Jenna's tone was sharp, and now I just wish I could turn invisible. Huh? Can you tell he doesn't want to talk to you? Flynn doesn't say anything. The tension is so thick in the air, I feel like I'm back in the slimy pond. The cashier fox pauses and hands me change, staring at Flynn and Jenna. Thanks. I almost yell as I reach out for the money, as if the volume of my voice will make everyone forget and provide Flynn with an opportunity to escape. it doesn't work. We're not kids anymore, Flynn. You can't just treat us like crap and expect us to act like it's okay when you decide we're worth talking to again. That's what you do with kids. Yell at them and pretend everything's fine afterwards. Flynn's hunched forward, staring off to the side towards the back of the store. TJ suddenly heads for the door, and I can see his face twitching as he passes me. Jenna follows him past Flynn before turning around as she reaches the door. If you want to talk to us again, then you're gonna have to act like an adult and apologize. Otherwise, later. She exits, leaving us in the most awkward, painful silence I ever heard in my life. The clerk openly stares at Flynn. I fumble with the change in my wallet, trying to pretend like nothing's happened. Do you wanna... Flynn turns and walks out the door. I watch him get in his truck, then pull out, his face expressionless. For a while, I stare at the empty parking space as I shove my wallet into the back of my pocket. The clerk, without anyone else to stare at, is now staring at me. Annoyed, I look right at him. What? He stares back at me, expression vacant. Huh? He's young, but patchy fur and missing teeth. But the patch of missing teeth and the look in his eyes tells me everything I need to know. I suddenly realize where I am, and where I come from, and this alone quashes all good feelings I have left of the day. This fox in front of me particularly embodies all the problems with this small town. I feel such a bizarre, intense wave of hatred for him that I have to leave the store. Pressing the 2 water bottles against my chest with one arm, I shove my free paw into my pocket, staring at the ground as I walk back to the hotel. Oh, so Flynn just left? Good on you, Flynn. I'm sick of him thinking that he can do whatever he wants without any sort of consequence. Jenna rustles around in the drawer before using her hip to close it with a snap as she turns to me. I'll apologize to him once he apologizes for ruining the trip. I open my mouth, then close it again. Of course, asking Jenna to make up to Flynn is a lost cause. It's like asking Carl to take off his beanie. Sitting on the bed, I glance at the bathroom door, the faint sounds of TJ's shower coming from within. I hear Jenna sigh before the bed wobbles as she takes a seat next to me. I'd probably feel bad if he hadn't fucked everything up already. I rub the back of my neck with my hand, trying to think of something I can say to convince her. It's just that Flynn is always like that. He doesn't mean anything bad. Yeah, well, I'm sick of having to deal with it. He needs to learn how to not talk like an asshole. This is one of the reasons why Flynn never fucks with Jenna, or really says anything to her at all. She's kind of exempt from the whole unspoken pact we made to just let Flynn's dickishness slide. Even sensitive TJ accepts it, and takes the playful ribbing well enough. I hear the shower shut off, followed by the high-powered whoosh of the hotel's cheap dryer. Being a lynx, TJ probably had to stand in that thing for a good 10 minutes before he was even damp. So, wait, are we meaning like that in this universe people don't dry themselves either with towels or a handheld dryer? It's like a full body dryer? Because to say you have to stand in that thing. Interesting. We're adults now, and if he wants to get anywhere in life, he needs to shape up. He's getting along alright. Jenna snorts. Yeah, if he's planning to stay here for the rest of his life. I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, I'm nervous about moving to a town of about in the 6 figures of people instead of the millions, but yeah. For reference, I've gotten a job recently, or I accepted a job offer recently. It's a bit far. It's in a medium-sized town, and it has so much money for it. Like 6 figures amount of money. I'm like, oh, it's not $500,000, but it's like pretty nice amount of money, I would think, you know? I can tell Jen's giving me a look, but I don't give her the satisfaction of turning my head to see it. Seriously? Anyway, it's clearly a defensive mechanism. It feels vulnerable without his "I'm an asshole" blanket. I mean, you're not a psychiatrist yet, Jenna. I'm not going to be a psychiatrist, but you don't need a psych degree to see it. I don't respond, not seeing the point in arguing about Flynn any further. Jenna stretches, then gets up to go over to her laptop on the small table while I lay back on the bed, closing my eyes. Absent-mindedly, I pull my phone out, discovering a text from Leo. "Forgot to tell you that we're having a surprise party for Carl tomorrow." I frown and type out a correct response. "You're telling us this now? It's not until next month. What's up?" Jenna's looking up from her laptop at the expression on my face. "Leo says we're having a surprise party for Carl tomorrow." "Oh yeah. You knew?" "Well, yeah. Leo told us on the drive back from the river." My phone buzzes again. "Sorry, we're going to the store tomorrow to get some presents, so don't worry about it." I frown. This is kinda weird. A whole month early? Jenna shrugs and looks back down at her laptop. Some do, I guess. I type another response to Leo again. "I have a lot to do tomorrow. I was planning to get some footage in the morning." Leo's always been weird. Do you follow any of his accounts? He's always posting pictures of his food and stuff. Here's the thing. I know people poo-poo about taking pictures of food. I like taking pictures of food. Not for Instagram, but for myself. Because, you know, sometimes I look through my gallery and stuff like that, and I'll be like, oh yeah, here's this picture of this weird bread thing I had in France this one time. Wasn't that nice? Or here's this picture of this food I took in this other area when I was like on a job or something like that. That's kind of cool. Like, it harkens my memory back to these times that I've forgotten about, and I like that. My phone buzzes again. "I guess I can get the present for you, but you're definitely going to the party, and then we're going out to see a movie." I suppose that doesn't sound too bad, as long as I'm able to get at least something done for the project. Something is still bothering me about this whole get-together, though. Also a movie? I can go to the party, but I might need to stay and do more project stuff. What about Flynn? I said another one, with some hesitation, feeling like me and Leo are conspiring behind Flynn's back. Then I remember what I did behind Leo's back, with Flynn, and my toes curl reflexively in a cringe. What, the gropiness? Yeah, technically, it's none of Leo's business what I do, but that doesn't change the feeling of wrongness I have about it. I toy with the idea of texting Flynn as well, but knowing him, he probably won't respond right now. I'm sorry. To you at least. I look up from my phone at Jenna, who's clacking busily away at her laptop. For what? Her typing pauses, because pissing Flynn off like that is just gonna make this an even shittier vacation. I sigh and look back down at my phone, waiting for Leo's response. Well, I don't know. I guess we need to hear it from someone. Or he need to hear it from someone? My phone buzzes again. I had a talk with him. It's fine. I'm about to say something to Jenna, but I can hear TJ starting to open the door, so I just shut my mouth, and close my eyes again. God, I always hate when, like, I don't know, you have to change in a bathroom, so then it's like, it's humid, and then you have to put clothes on. I actually end up sleeping in the next day. Leo tries to coax me to going along, but I mumble something about needing to finish my project. The next thing I know, it's an hour later, and the motel room's empty. I chastise myself for being late, for the late start. I'm getting, and I roll out of bed, skipping a shower, instead gathering up all my equipment. But you're musky! I decide to head to the old school, mostly out of convenience. It's less than a mile up the main street. It's a broken down and vandalized to hell, which looks great through the camera. I guess we continue. The original Echo School was built back in the early 1900s, but it was torn down and rebuilt in the 50s. I guess this is the place that had the planetarium with, that we saw in the smoke room. That's the building that I'm looking at now. Apparently, all grades were combined into this one building, which was sectioned off by 3 floors. Echo Elementary, Echo Junior High, and Echo High. After the 1980s, there were too few students to keep it functional, and they started busing everyone to paint instead, closing Echo School down. It's a 2-story brick school house with a basement and about 30 rooms inside. I remember my parents saying that after it closed down, it was the rite of passage to sneak into the school at night and graffiti up the walls. Man, your parents would actually be like, hey, that's what people do. Maybe you should do it too. Basically, everyone drew a pentagram. Oh no, satanic panic! And, oh, that was a 90s thing. I set the camera up to get a few shots of the outside of school, making sure to emphasize the graffiti on the front to avoid the wide soccer goal. Apparently, Echo is still putting the field to use. The windows are foggy, and though there are dozens of squares of glass missing, it's pitch black inside. I calculate in my mind how long I'll be speaking over this portion of the footage, realizing it probably won't be longer than 10 or 15 seconds. I feel a bit of flare of annoyance at the thought of how much I'm putting into this and how little I'm getting out. I know the feeling. I wonder if this is really the kind of thing I want to be doing, and not for the first time. After about half an hour of trying different angles, I finally straighten up, wiping my forehead. The sun is up to the point of warming the top of my head, and I know that within an hour, I'll be burning up. I start packing up my camera when I feel a different sensation on the top of my head. Somebody pooped on it. The slight pressure and a prickle, the feeling that I'm being watched. I look back up at the school building. It's quiet, broken, and stoic, like it's been for the past few decades. Still, my eyes are drawn to the second floor, specifically the window on the far right. I stare at it, narrowing my eyes. Behind the glass, in the dark room, something curves out from the right side of the window. It's a lighter color and stands out in stark contrast to the black of the rest of the windows. Could be anything, really, but as I stare at it, I get the same vibes from it as I do from Carl's horns. I stare at it, waiting to see if it moves, morbidly increasing a face, peering around the corner at any movement. Picturing Carl suddenly jumping out to stare at me from the window is kind of funny, but also creepy because I can't imagine what he'd be doing up there. Smoking weed. The hairs on the back of my neck stand up and I look around, kind of hoping that someone might be nearby. It's deserted, of course, my only company being the sun-baked road and dried sagebrush. I turn my attention back to the spot next to the window, half expecting the maybe a horn to be gone. Oh. It's still there, though, not having shifted at all from when I first spotted it. I shift the strap on the camera bag on my shoulder and stand up straight before moving a little closer to the building, next to the doors for a better look. Maybe it's the handle to something. Maybe it's the handle of an old watering can. Maybe for a class project forgotten long ago. Maybe. I shrug off the feeling and turn to leave. Enter the school. Well, I'm gonna choose school. School. Something itches in the back of my brain. I look back at the door and can tell right away that there isn't anything holding it shut, or at least not on the outside. maybe I could get a few shots of what's in there. I walk up slowly to the door. The thin piece of plywood definitely not was that was definitely not what was here originally. A small tin, no trespassing sign hangs from it, almost completely rusted through. I give the door a tentative push, and it instantly gives way, adding noisily across the concrete ground. Inside, there's a staircase right in front of me. To the left and right, there's a wide, darkened hallways. I'm just crossing over the threshold when I realize what I'm doing. Even if I did get some footage, it would have been from breaking into a place illegally. I'd basically be filming a crime for a school project. The door creaks above my head, and I realize just how stupid this is. I turn back around, making sure to shut the rickety door behind me fully before I start back towards the road. It was a dumb idea, sure, and I've come up with a lot of stupid ideas, but for some reason I can't shake the feeling that had been especially weird. I'm at the end of the road when I remember the horn at the window. I don't turn around. So, how'd you even know he was here? Jenna eyes Leo as we make our way up the walk to the Carl's house. As I'm looking up at the mansion, I think of how you imagine a lot of things being bigger when you're younger. Not Carl's house. I always forget how big it is when I see it again. Even kids from Peyton wanted to hang out with Carl because of it. Carl was here like 95% of the time. Besides, how could he get around without his parents? Jen doesn't say anything as TJ bounds up to the door and rings the doorbell while balancing a cake against his chest. Everything is so old-fashioned here. TJ seems to have cheered up since the incident a few years back, or days back? Not years. At least, that's what he's been putting out so far. Sometimes it's hard to tell with TJ. Waits a while, but there's no answer. Jenna looks pointedly at Leo, who pointedly ignores her. He's probably asleep. And how do we wake him up? I want to ask where Flynn's at, but even mentioning his name around TJ seems risky. Leo's looking up at the window to the right of the door, about 10 feet off the ground. You know, if it boosted you up there, you'd be able to reach... Are you kidding me? I shift my bag of presents I'm holding, glancing down at the red tissue paper on the top. So, what did I get Carl? Leo doesn't seem to notice me, continuing to frown at Jenna. How are you gonna wake him up? Oh, I don't know. Maybe by sending him a text in advance to have him meet us somewhere rather than just going to his house completely unannounced? Leo huffs, and I can see his face getting redder under his fur. Jenna has a fair point, but it still felt bad for the wolf. I mean, he's usually here, isn't he? Let's not fight, guys. It's supposed to be a party. With Jesus. TJ Gently's disappointed voice seems to put a pause to the tense mood, and Jenna sighs before looking up at the window. I guess I could try. Great. Leo hops down off the deck, but at that moment, a big, rusty truck pulls up onto the driveway of Carl's house. It's Flynn, and next to him in the passenger seat is an unconscious-looking ram. The hell? Flynn parks before slowly and quietly opening the door. Flynn, what the hell are you doing? Leo whisper yells as he walks up to the truck, glances over at Carl, who's leaned back in the seat with his mouth hanging open. I'm just thinking of him being like, Flynn, what are you doing? You know, like how Homer tries to do whispering, but it's so loud. Even from here, I can hear him snoring. Hey, Wolf, if you still want to be a surprise, you'll shut up. What the hell are you doing? Flynn rolls his eyes. You went to the reservation. What? Why? Because it's something we do sometimes? I text you that we're going to surprise him. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Flynn rubs the back of his scaly head. Just a little late is all. Started winning more than I usually do, so Carl and I stuck around for a little longer. You're gambling? Of course, because that's all the reservation's good for, huh? Whoa. Flynn holds up his hands defensively. What's with all of you? Flynn's eyes settle on me, and for some reason I feel my heart give a jump. Chase, what the hell crawled up everyone's ass? I feel like the answer should be obvious, but if Flynn's trying to get things at least somewhat close to normalcy, then I'm fully behind him. You know how Leo is. His way or the highway. Leo shoots a glare at me, but I grin at him, trying to lighten the jab. I sense TJ further back behind me, separate from our group. I really wish I knew what he was thinking right now. Leo lets out a tiny growl before turning back to Flynn. I feel like you could have at least told us. Flynn sighs and glances back at the ram sleeping in the truck. Well, why don't you guys go inside so this whole surprise thing isn't as weird? It's locked. Flynn walks over to Carl's side before turning to us. Going through the back, there's a key under the doormat. We get... Oh, I get it. We're gonna do the thing, and then he's gonna... And we're gonna do a surprise! Hooray! We're past the 25-minute mark, and it's kind of its own scene. I'm not sure how long it's gonna be, but you know how it is. Also, I want to take my pants off, and I can't do that without messing up face rig. Oh, I guess I could just do it right now, since we're kind of calling it. Hey, I had jeans on. We're kind of in that time of the year in Texas when it's like 90 something during the day. So like right now in my room it's 95, but then like later at night it's gonna go down to 32 because there's a cold front coming in and just stuff. So yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please comment. Cause I like comments, tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help grow. And please remember to veterinary animals and control the pet population. If I did this in December, and I submitted it in September, boy, that was a long time. Unless I went and did, like, put this thing here and then put something in front of it. I just kind of want to see how much time we get. Okay, we got 5 scenes. And 4 days, not including the party day. Oh, and we did all those days. Huh, that's interesting. Does any of those other ones have the animation stuff? No, just the band. Pop. And any other music to listen to? Though maybe it says, when your arms are around me too? Oh, that music. But yeah, end of this side plays. Comment, cause like, comment, you like, dislike. Already said that. If you want to play this game, then... Oh, maybe these are different endings? Oh, because that could be like the bad route for Leo's route, maybe? I still have to go back and do the side plays for those 2 things, you know? Yeah. Until next time. Sorry, I've just completely gone several which ways and I can't remember. I'm a bit tired. Sorry about that. So sorry. Oh yeah, it would be his route, wouldn't it be? And until next time, another Let's Play, me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. So thanks and see ya.